Hey Art Fam, it's Luis Martin, the art engineer. Welcome to the safe space. Welcome to the art studio. How are you? I'm super excited because today I think we're going to finish our long little project of creating a drawing collage. All right, before we jump in, I just want to remind you that what you do matters. And also to join Collage Dream. It's a wonderful community of artists who use collage to make wonderful things. So the one that people usually choose is the physical kit, which you get a monthly kit in your mail and huge surprises every month. Go to collegedream.com and get that happening. If you're not in the country, the United States, you can become a patron for $5 or a digital member for $10. And one has a digital kit which you can print or use on the computer, and the other one, you're just part of the art fam and get to partake in some of our adventures. All right, now that I got my sales pitch out of the way, you guys, I'm super excited about this. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing this brand new shirt that I just got. Can you read it? It says echándole ganas, which is a Spanish idiom, which I had to think about it, what it means, right? Because you know what something means, but when you have to translate it into another language, you really understand the meaning. So echándole means to give or to put out. Ganas means wanting or desire. So this is what Mexicans say. I'm sure other Spanish countries say it too. When they want to give someone encouragement, right? It says, do it with desire, do it with desire. Isn't that beautiful? Like, oh, not in a sexual way, just in a very like, oh, do it like you're wanting to do it. So today, le vamos a echar ganas, and we're gonna do it like we want to do it. All right. I have my coffee. What do you got? This is my second cup. Okay, so let's recap. So remember, I have this. I have a drawing that I made, and it was a saint I saw at the food court at Chelsea Market, and I thought I wanted to create that. I wanted to spend some time with that image, right? Like I wanted to create my own version of it. So I drew a picture of Elvis. I made a crown. And a big part of this was the tiles around the collage that I wanted to create. And this month, I'm looking around because I think I already lost it. This month, for the collage kits, our collective image, which is an image that everybody gets across the board for you to play with, so we can then compare and contrast our parallel universe, was a fish. So I took this fish last week and created a collage, which I should have, but don't know where it went. And then I took it to the next level, you guys. I created a digital collage, I guess. I put it on Photoshop and just kind of played with it. And I printed it out. And this is what happened. I took it to Staples and printed it out. I don't know why it's in a plastic bag. I don't know. My Staples closed recently and I had to go to a different one and they gave it to me like this. And I think it's a different type of paper. Let's see. So it was exciting. Oh, plastic. No, okay. The paper quality's fine. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use as the tiles. You see what I did? So this is the original image. And then I multiplied it. And then I created a circle and spun it a little bit, and voila. It looks really complicated, but it really wasn't. So I'm going to play with this now. I also, you see this? I'm excited. I have some fun stuff I want to share with you. Okay, so let me just start this now. I'm just going to start cutting these tiles. I also made a smaller version of it, but I don't like the smaller version of it. I think this is perfect to the scale that I want. I also printed the digital kit, so I think I might send this to somebody. I don't know. Okay, how are you? How was the eclipse? Did you see the eclipse? The world did not end. I know some people out there were like, end of days. But it's always been end of days, hasn't it? Here in New York, we didn't get a lot of coverage, but I was out. And it was beautiful. It looked like dusk in the middle of the day. And I didn't really look up because I didn't have glasses. And I thought it'd be cool just to see what people's reactions were. And it was so beautiful to see, to have this collective moment, literally on the streets, just clusters of people looking up together and sharing their glasses, and it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. And I was happy. How did you do it? Then later I came home and I watched some replays of places where there was total totality. And there's this anchor woman here in New York. Her name is Christine Johnson. And she kind of reminds me of my mother because she looks Latina, but I think she's Filipino and Swiss or something. Anyway, the thing is that she has a very familiar face to me. And she was having this moment. She was in Niagara Falls, and as it was happening, she had a total meltdown. She was just like, "This is so beautiful," and oh, it was just beautiful. And then she interviews these people, and everyone's having that same reaction. And she asked this woman with kids, like, "How does it feel?" And the woman was breathing. She's like, "I feel like I'm connected to the universe." Oh, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful, you know. It's like, unfortunately, that's the only time we can say that and it makes sense, right? Otherwise, people look at you like you're crazy, like you're an artist. But it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the next one is what? They happen every 18 months apparently, but because they usually happen where there's no people. Okay, so this is going to take forever, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a few at the same time. I mean, I love it. I love the blue too. I love the blue that I did here. So they don't move. Maybe you can clip them, you know. But I'm just gonna play it loose and dirty and cut it. Okay. So as you know, I've been on a reading kick, on a reading bender. I just finished reading this book. And I like to read, but I'm not a quick reader. And I read this book in 3 days, partly because Elvis wanted me to read it. It's called, get ready for it, They Both Die at the End. Oh. Yes, they did both die at the end. It was beautiful. I cried multiple times, yes, like staring at the eclipse. But, so it's I guess, theoretically, I guess it is a queer book, although there isn't a lot of it. I mean, it's about these two boys who know they're going to die. They get an alert. So they spend the day together and they don't know each other. And the thing that struck me, and this is so important, you guys. The thing that struck me, this is a book that was written a few years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, by this wonderful writer, Silver, I think is his last name. I'll put it down in the comments. But the thing about it was that I've been reading all these queer books lately, biographies, and the common thread that runs through all of them is a sense of self-hate. Not an innate self-hate, a hate that is brought on by society and by being rejected. And it's always there, right? And it has its ramifications, obviously. But this book didn't have any of that. It was just this beautiful story of these two young people getting to know each other and falling in love with each other over the course of a day. But can you imagine? Can you imagine what having to live that with so much self-hate? I mean, and I know that because I've had that. I've had tons of that I've had to work through, and every collage that I make alleviates that, right? Alleviates that. I like the Spanish. I like the English language, I mean. So, think about that. How does that play out in your life? What would it look like, right? If your story had absolutely no ounce of guilt or self-hate for the things you desire, for the things that you want, that don't hurt anybody? I mean, that's the question, right? Okay, I think with this slot, I'll be done. Okay, so I have a big piece of, I have a pad that I'm going to use to put my collage on right there. We're going to break the fourth wall and use that in a second. So this should be really easy. This should be really fun. And we're just gonna assemble all the pieces together and see where it takes us, you guys. I'm really excited. So why did I do this? Well, I wanted to play, right? But I also found that it's a completely different visual language when you, or when I, or when we all make fast collages, right? Fast collages are great. That's how I operate. But when you methodically have to work outside of your mat to create something, different things will happen, right? Different things will happen. Okay, here we go, you guys. Okay. So my idea was I'm going to use this, right, kind of to create a pattern. So ideally it should be square. Of course I didn't make it square. So I only have the option of doing this, right? Doing this or doing that, which I think is the same. Okay, ideally I could do that, but it'll be all wonky. Doesn't matter. So, you ready to take a trip? Coffee first. Okay, here we go. Doop, 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 doop. I hope this works. I didn't think about it too much. Okay, so this is my wonder wall. This is my inspiration wall. And this is a really nice setup that I put also to paint. I'm painting this huge painting of a naked man. I guess it's this guy. It's a version of this guy. So it's been interesting to have this naked man waiting for me to finish him off. That sounds weird. Okay, so here we go. So again, I'm not doing anything different, right? I'm still using my little double tape. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, the scale is perfect, you guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna, again, be very loose about it, and then I'll finalize it later. How effing cool is this? And again, I don't care if it lines up or not. Okay. Oh my gosh, yes. So this is just, again, this is the third step, right? But I can keep going. I can keep going. I can then later decide to paint, right? How cool is this? I'm really liking this a lot. I'm impressed. I've impressed myself, I must say. Why? Because I am super impatient, my friends. So this kind of gives me hope. This gives me hope that there are tons and tons of layers that I still have not scratched into my creative practice. Okay. Okay, here we go. So what are you reading? Let me know. I know someone recommended the Elvira biography, so that's going to be on my list. I also feel, I don't know how I feel, but I do need to read some business books just to keep me savvy. Okay, yeah, let me put this one this way. Well, I'll just continue here. Because, you know, yes, I'm running this community and I love it, but if I don't treat it like a business, then it's not going to treat me like a business. I'm not going to be able to thrive. So I gotta balance my reading material. Okay, so I just noticed something. I like how this is on this side, so I'm just gonna turn it around. So at least that looks well thought out. So as you can imagine, that's a little off, but it's okay. As you can imagine, this book, they both at the end, has questions, existential questions about mortality, about if you knew you only had 24 hours, what would you do, who would you spend it with, which we even want to know. And you know, I kind of live life that way already, so it was very refreshing to kind of take inventory of like, oh, okay, I'm doing the things that make me happy. you know, even though even though I don't have, you know, a retirement fund, but it makes me happy. Okay, yes, I love it. Okay, so I can either tuck this in, which I think. Oh, look at that. Yes, thank you. I love it. Okay, so this is really dumb, and I do this all the time. I always say thank you, and it's the perfect thing to say, right? Because you gotta thank your muses, you know? It's gotta be like, yeah, that's it. It's perfect. Thank you. I'm here for this. I'm receiving it. Also, I'm doing this painting with the naked man, but I'm doing it, and I'm recording it. I'm actually doing it right here, painting it and recording it, but because it's a nudie, and because I'm playing the music that I want to play, which I wouldn't be able to do for YouTube, it's only going to be available for my members on the website. It's not up yet because I need to make sure that with a few other things, but if you're interested, let me know, and I'll share with you how to be part of that. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, let's make sure this is good. Okay, I was just aligning that. Okay, are you ready for this? Ah! So I have Elvis. I have his thorny crown. Oh my gosh. I thought there'd be more of a space behind him, which I kind of feel it needs so it doesn't get lost. So I'll make that somehow. Okay. So let me just look at this real quick. So you guys, we're doing this. I do like that breathing space, I must say. So you know what? Let me just... This is just regular printing paper. I'm going to cut it in half. And see what this does for us. Because I feel I need that space. Yes, there you go, Elvis. I feel like I need that space. Okay. Yes. So, what was I gonna tell you? It doesn't always make sense as you're working on it, but at the end it will. And there's also something very gratifying, I must say, about seeing an idea come together. Yeah? Okay, so let me play this. Yes, perfect. That's just exactly what I needed. Okay. Let's paint. Okay, so this will hold, but at some point I'm going to need to put more adhesive. All right, so have you been playing along? Have you been working on one of your large drawing collages? I hope you have. And this is the fun thing that I intend to do also with the painting that I'm working on, right? I think there's a lot of mystery when it goes to making art. And then when you see someone do it, you're like, oh. I think it's been less and less, especially with like Instagram and stuff like that, where, you know, we're kind of seeing behind the curtains a little bit more, which is really important. Press it a little bit. I was thinking I could like use my coffee and like give him a gouache so he's a little bit more brown, because Elvis is brown. Okay. This is gonna be tricky because this is heavy. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so exciting. So there's other ways of doing this. Okay, so there is double adhesive strips as well, so it doesn't have to be. Okay, do you want to hear something really gross, you guys? So it's summer. I have very sweaty hands. It's not summer, but it's getting warmer, so my hands are very moist. So this is when it gets really difficult and I have to really have my environment just right so I don't make a mess. Oh, look at this. Okay. Voila. Okay, so that's the initial drawing, right? But look, what are we missing? We're missing this. This is my favorite. So this is what I bought. Check this out. This is see-through contact paper, and it's my favorite. It's 3M, but that's not my favorite. It's neon. I love neon. And I'm the worst at opening. Okay, here we go. Ah, this is so cool. Oh my god, look at this. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut a strip. That's all I need. And then this is gonna be his eyes, his gaze. Oh my gosh, I'm literally excited. He doesn't have that much space as I had wanted, so you see that? Oh my god. Okay. So this I'm just gonna cut with scissors. Dun, 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 dun. And then this one will go this way. How are we doing on time? Okay. Are you ready for this? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I just want to put this under his eye. Okay, here we go, you guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, this is so cool. I can't articulate how fun this is. Alright, so I'm going to burnish it a little bit, but I actually like the scratchiness that I'm doing because it kind of creates a effect. I think we did it. Okay, so this was the drawing, right? This is the drawing that I made, and this is how it came out. Let me take a second. So anytime you create a collage, a painting, or anything, write a letter, take a second. Take a second. Just let it simmer for a minute, because sometimes, especially when we're writing, right, we say things out of passion, which is perfect, it needs to come out. But then we need to experiment and be like, okay, what did I do here? So I'm gonna just look at it from here. I'm still here. And see what it looks like. Yes, I'm obsessed. I'm in love with this. I think looking at it now, I could do a little bit more with the crown, right? I think this could use a little bit more activation, meaning give it some texture or something, to kind of go with like the busyness of this. But do you see how important that white space was? Because we would have lost the image of Elvis if it wasn't for the white space that needed to breathe. Yeah. What does it need? I think it does that yellow, right? The crown. Let me go back to my reference. Okay, so this was my reference. Or this is a drawing that I made. I think it needs like an eye or something in the middle, something red. And so this is also where you can kind of like just take a look at the things around you, right? So if you surround yourself with beauty and the things that move you, you'll always be ready to be inspired. Like, for instance, this is from a digital collage kit that we made, and this is actually my friend's hand. What if I borrow this and put it there? I don't like it, but this is part of the process, right? And kind of playing around with it, because I think it does need something at the center. And I'm gonna put this back. No one's none the wiser. I think, yes, perhaps a flower, I don't know. But this is the part where I can just kind of hang out with it and then see what happens. You guys, this was the project. We did it. So I don't think I'm done just yet. I'm gonna sit with it. Maybe next week I'll show you the finished product and see what happens. I hope you're trying this. I hope you extend the wonderful experience of creating art and ruminate and simmer, because that's what we're here to do, right? Go within, see what moves you, and share that. This is what moves me, and I'm sharing it with you. All right, this is Luis Martin, the art engineer. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you. I'm having a really good time. And all right, stay connected. Join us on Instagram at collage.dream and become a patron. I'd love to have you. All right, cheers.